Hey yo, what up scholars? I'm SGN and I'm here with my good friend, my homie, my brother from another mother, Elvin Roses here.
What's up, y'all? You guys doing?
Welcome, my dude.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
And first and foremost, I believe in giving credit where credit is due. After all, I am an English teacher by training, and so I have to give a big shout out to our bro, my really good friend, my day one homie, J-Flow of Drippy Faucet Media, because without him, like, this connection wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that's right. Nah, 100%.
So, if he sends me the logo, I'm gonna put his logo like right here, right here, and I'm gonna link his channel in the description below. Dopest podcast in the game, in my opinion. It's gonna age like fine wine.
Sure.
Just watch. But anyways, guys, what I want to do is I want you guys to get to know my homie. I think he has a lot of potential. I think his art is dope. His music is dope, and just he's overall genuinely a good person. I believe in vibes, and so let's check the vibes.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Check me.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So I got some questions for you, bro.
So,
who is Elvin Roses?
who is Elvin Roses? Elvin Roses is an optimistic, I say dreamer, probably put it down like that. Someone who wants to, I don't know, like, I guess I can put it this way. Like, I'm someone who wants, just basically a visionary, you know. I want to see my dreams come true. I want to see like my actions come to life. For example, like we dropped a video called Broken Pieces.
Right.
And to me that was like a dream come true. Like, even though it's something small to me, but it was able to reach other individuals.
Right.
And I'm one. Honestly, like, from my whole life, I've been able to give out like advice to, you know, friends, family, and now to be able to bring my art and actually have it as like a form of therapy to other individuals. I feel like that's kind of like the goal. Like, I want to be able to have like a home away from home, you know. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's just like I guess I'm a person who just like, I have dreams, and like at the same time I've always been the person who was always like, I guess I would love to be loved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I can find comfort like amongst someone else as well.
Right.
And it's like through music, and that's basically my goal, like just to find a connection with the, you know, with the listener, my supporter, my fan, whoever. It's just, I mean, basically what I stand for, bro. Like, I stand for my people. I stand for South LA. I stand for, you know, for the biggest, you know, for the rock scene, who's obviously not on top right now, but I stand for that as well.
Hey.
You know, like, I stand for the people who don't have a voice, you know. So I feel like I'm, you know, for individuals in South LA who don't have a voice. Like, I am the voice for the voiceless, you know. That's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like I can speak up for them,
Right.
and I'm very confident in that. Like, for sure, I can tell you that. I feel like I have the voice in order for people to understand exactly where we are. Perspective is a big thing in my view. So, I definitely want everyone to understand those points of view as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I can tell you, as far as me, like, yeah, I'm a goofy guy. I get called goofball a lot. I'm fun around. Yeah, like, honestly, that what I stand for, though, is just always trying to have a message throughout, like, everything I say, you know. Like, it's whether it be a negative message, whether it be a positive message, like, as long as you grab something from it, you know. Everybody sees things different, you know.
Right.
But I want, honestly, like, I mean, there's a lot about me, to be real with you, but to just put it blank, it's just, yeah, I'm just optimistic when it comes to it. It's just, I'm just hoping for the best when it comes to whatever it is. And yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's who I am, or a brief, you know, summary of how I am.
I appreciate you saying that, man, because I really felt that in your song "Broken Pieces." Like, the optimism comes in. You know, you're addressing a tough situation, right? You're focusing on a particular couple who's facing financial challenges, but the optimism is there, right? With the end of the song, right? Being like, I got you,
Sure.
right? I'll always have your back, my friend. Or what is it? No matter how times are rough, I always... Something like, you always be your friend.
It's if you ever need a friend, it's trust me, I'll be by your side.
Yeah.
If you believe me, I'll be by your side. Yeah, believe me, I'll be by your side. Sorry, I'm doing that one lyrics over here.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of musically, you as an artist, how do you identify musically? Like, how would you categorize your music? Like, rapper, rocker, metalhead, how would you identify?
That's the thing, you know, 'cause that's a question that I know for a fact was going to pop up eventually.
Yeah.
The thing is, Elvin Roses, I feel, is it's someone else, you know. It's me, obviously, you know. 'Cause my name's Elvin Flores, but when it comes to Elvin Roses, that's just I get put in different categories. For example,
it's like an alter ego, perhaps.
You can say that. It's because at the same time, it's like, for example, I'm in a group called True Coast, and we have a lot of West Coast vibes. We talk about, you know, struggles in you know, in South LA, East LA, just general, just it's all LA based. So if you know, so there's some messages there that are different. It's just I don't know, to break it down, it's just like, I guess I have a West Coast sound, but I also like, as an individual, I guess it's just rap and hip hop, but at the same time, like I do rock, you know. So
right.
I feel like if you want to just categorize me, like in the group, I just say just rap or hip hop when it comes to Elvin Roses itself. But if you want to put me in a different category, since I have a band, and like, honestly, that band is me itself. It's me. Right. So I would just say, like, and that it'll be more of a punk rock, like hardcore.
Okay.
I mean, it's that type of style of band, you know. So I guess in those different categories, you can put me there.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, honestly, like, I've written R&B songs. I've written, like, you know, like the type of indie songs. There's some songs where, like, they sound more rock, and they're in the hip hop side too. So it's kind of hard to kind of put down like I'm an actual genre. I feel once the music starts coming out, you start like understanding, like, oh, okay, like I see where it's coming from. Because of now, it sounds like straight hip hop, like
right.
You know,
what I'm hearing you say is that, like, and what I'm seeing you do, right, from the short time that I've gotten to know you, is that you're a multi-talented individual who the media, the interviewer, or anyone really can't just pigeonhole you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just can't throw you in a box, in a category. Like, they can't contain you. So it sounds to me like you're more of a creative, like a creative director of your life, and rap and metal, or not metal, but punk rock.
All that.
Everything is more of like a slice of you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's dope. Okay. Okay, we're getting it. We're getting some good stuff here, man. I'm excited. Okay, I have another question for you. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Damn, musician, dead or alive. If I could, on the rock side, I would want to work with Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, rest in peace.
Yep. Died by suicide.
That guy, that's another guy as well. Like, it's just, like, if I would have him on a track, for example, or like if I could collab with that individual, because they have rap, you know, they have rap in their music. So,
now here we go for the 100th time.
Exactly. So I wouldn't mind collabing with Mike Shinoda too, but at the same time, like, you know, to have the, you know, like, guy who, you know, who screams like a demon and sings like an angel, like, I would want Chris. I want Chester Bennington to be the guy who, you know, who like, I could collab with. And as far as like right now, if I collab with an artist, I could probably collab. I would say maybe like her, HER, and probably Black on the hip hop side. I'll probably collab with them. They have more like R&B, you know, more subtle. Also Anderson .Paak, he's a drummer, and he's also like a soul type singer as well. Okay. He's in the hip hop scene as well, and he's pretty dope. Like, I like instruments. I like working with that. Honestly, like, if I could have if I could collab with someone besides them, I've always been curious about Tupac. It's always been like a thing. I've always been curious about Tupac. It's just, man, that guy was wild, you know. But he also spoke, you know, for the people down in South LA. So I feel that's another guy I would have loved, you know, because of the energy. I probably would have fed off him like, a lot more too. You know?
Man. Yeah, that's a powerful statement, dude. Because it seems like Tupac is one of those artists, one of those very few gems, like a generational gem that just doesn't die. That, like, his music won't die. It's timeless. For sure. You can drop it in any era and you'll feel it. So, like, that's sick. Pac. So Pac, HER, Anderson .Paak, and
Black, and Chester Bennington. From Linkin
Park. That's dope, man. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, it's all around.
But it makes sense, though. I can see now, based on the themes and based on you as a person, I can see that. What's the best show you've ever played?
The best show I've ever played?
That, like, you just remember like it was yesterday. It was like magical.
This was like a church thing too, because I haven't really done like full shows like that. But it's like a church thing. I remember I was the drummer at the time, This was it was being recorded through some, like one of those channels we don't know about. You know what I mean? It's just on the air or whatever. I was invited because I was the drummer, and I had these two guys with the bassist, and like in a pianist, but they needed a drummer, so they hit me up to go with them.
Okay.
So I showed up, and they told me there was gonna be like a big event, but they didn't tell me they were gonna record. They didn't tell me it was a big show. Like, they told me a big event, but I figured maybe like 50 people.
Yeah.
No, like, it was packed. There was like a cool like 200 or 300 people like right there, like filling up the
Dang.
church. I was like,
nervous,
whoa,
dude?
I was nervous. I was just spinning the stick around like, yeah, man, this is out of my comfort zone. But hey, you know what? Like I got up there. I actually had to improvise because honestly, I got too excited.
Yeah.
I sped the song a little more. The guy kept looking at me like, yo, what are you doing? So I busted a quick little solo. I started doing a little extra.
Hey.
And it's crazy. They were able to feed off the energy. And it's funny. We came back and we started playing. And honestly, that was probably like the biggest show I had. And it was intense because before, like, I had only played for like a small crowd. It was maybe like a crowd of 15, 20 people. Or just friends, whatever.
Yeah.
But that day specifically, I mean, it was just some guys pulled me up from a church, and I showed up that day, and I like to think we killed it. I like to think we killed the show, but but honestly, that was probably like my biggest show, and it was the first time I got to experience something like big. Because I see everybody vibing, like I see the cameras from my face, like it was probably the first and last experience I had with that.
Okay.
But I do dream of having that, like, just in the near future, you know what I mean? But it was cool. It was cool. Like it was something that came out of the blue. But that was my biggest show. And like I was a drummer at the time, just like I said, I was a drummer, and I was playing for a Christian band too. So it was a whole different like yeah, you know what I mean? So it's it's roots.
No, that's dope, man. Actually, I'm gonna ask a question later about like that influence.
Okay.
The church influence
For sure.
But let's see. Okay. What is your musical guilty pleasure?
Explain that a little.
So what I mean by that, it's like, for example, if you identify, like I remember in the early 2000s, if you were like into Slipknot, you weren't into Linkin Park, right?
I got you.
If you were into Dr. Dre and Snoop, you weren't into Slipknot. Right, like it would have to be a guilty, like for me, my guilty pleasure, because I was around a bunch of like Slipknot heads, and like Dr. Dre heads, so I couldn't listen to Linkin Park or much less Blink-182.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was like,
I totally.
Why are you soft, fool? Like you know. So that's what I mean. Like Taylor Swift, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Oh man, that's a big one. I feel this is gonna be random. But I feel one of them will probably be Prince Royce Bachata, you know?
No!
Prince Royce Bachata.
If my wife is watching this, don't listen to him right now. I'm not a fan of bachata.
Nah, yeah, it's something from the culture, it just shows up. Probably a guilty
Es que te quiero, porque te quiero, yo siempre te quiero. That's what every song sounds like to me.
Man.
I'm being a hater, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's cool. Like, the reason I like that dude, for example, is just like...
I don't even know his music, honestly.
No, honestly, it's because, there's a few tracks where, like, the instrumentation is cool. Like, as far as, like, he would add, for example, like, there'll be, like, a reggae type beat to the bachata. Or you switch it up to, like, for example, there was a time where just the guitar solos are pretty sweet. I don't know, just certain elements that, that caught my attention.
Yeah.
Like, another guilty pleasure I could bring out, which is crazy. Man, this is a lot, honestly. People look at me like, yo, like, who's, like this guy. But, I know a lot of rappers and a lot of like individuals don't like female artists a lot for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, like earlier, like I mentioned, HER, her. Like, you see someone like SZA, she's got like heartbreak songs like Jhené Aiko. Like,
SZA's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Aiko is dope.
Yeah, but I mean, like I play a lot of Summer Walker. Like there's just a bunch of these female artists. I like. Honestly, like, I love the female voice, so that's why it's tender when you hear these songs. Also, I think since you brought up the whole rock thing, I also get bashed on so much for listening to pop punk because it's a softer version of whatever like I'm playing. If you hear me playing this, I'm considered a softie basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like if I could bring back maybe a band called State Champs or Man, honestly, like you hear the music, it's very, it's like it's all lively and happy and stuff.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Like Disney Channel friendly.
It's almost, almost. But yeah, I mean, it's just. Oh yeah, it's just yeah. Like I guess those are my guilty pleasures. Or like another band that's pretty badass called Issues. Like I like them. The singer honestly sounds like he's a pop artist. Like
gotcha.
Off the bat, but they have a screamer in the band.
Okay.
And probably like one of the ones that I just got into. This was probably like, you know, the biggest shocker of everybody, Justin Bieber. You know, Justin Bieber has been a guy that's kind of like I checked up on him because he's, you know, like switched up his life and like so I checked up his interview. Like he dropped an album and I was impressed. So
okay.
I was here singing Justin Bieber songs. Yo, hey, my bad, man. Hey, my bad. Y'all hate me, man, but you gotta love it.
Hey, nah. Honestly, nah, man. Like I respect it. We all have guilty pleasures.
Just genres, you know.
Yeah, we all have them, dude. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, look, we're not haters. We're just thinkers. We're thinking critically here, man.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you like to do outside of music?
Outside of music, man, honestly, it's outside of music. I'm trying to think because the thing is, usually I hang out with my friends and then it becomes a session. You know what I mean? Like it becomes like a writing session. We just play beats and then we just start. You know, we'll spit like 2 lines and then like the next guy will jump on top and then we'll just be going back and forth and it becomes like a freestyle battle or something.
Gotcha.
Or like sometimes it's just yeah, I mean like we'll start playing a game and then, you know, we'll hop on to music. We'll play music in the background. Honestly, as of late, I've been playing chess. Like, I've been getting back into chess. I know you got a chessboard somewhere.
Chessboard right there.
So you probably work me, but
nah. I'm trash. I'm like the world's greatest dabbler, homie. All I do is dabble. Like, I can throw a jab, but I can't throw a right cross.
For sure.
You know? Like,
chess is something I've been looking into.
Hey, let's play a chess match.
I'm down.
After though.
I got the interview
for
sure.
On camera?
I'm with it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Chess is one thing. I've been I like board games too. I like playing board games as of late. Like my boy got a board game. We picked up Sorry. I'm sure you heard of that, but that was a pretty cool game. So yeah, I've been playing a few board games. I don't know. I'm kind of pretty chill outside of it. As of late as well, just the whole business thing. I'm trying to just, you know, like I watch YouTube channels. Like for example, like as far as wisdom goes, I gotta check you out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep the gems going on.
Thank you.
I gotta look at the people around me just so I could, you know, just to obtain more knowledge. I wasn't like the brightest guy around, but I mean, I was smart enough to catch people's, you know, ideas. So that's something I can tell you. I wasn't the brightest when I was writing it on paper, but if I was, like, if I really felt the vibes and I felt a certain way, then yeah, I'll sit down and I'll listen. So I'm still learning. It's a different process. Actually, you got me into listening to like to Audible books. So that's one thing too. You know, it's just
shout out Audible
for sure. That's no, honestly, like it makes life a lot easier. Definitely. I can't say that I'm the best reader at the moment, but I have picked up a few books, and it's because I'm just trying to learn now. You know what I mean? So now I feel like I'm learning now than when I was in actual school. You know what I mean? Like now it's just like, yo, like I want to learn everything I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just something that's driving me at the moment. But yeah, like outside of music, those are things. But just music is always around me, you know? Because it's whether I'm driving in the car, you know, there's music playing in the background. All of a sudden, I'm back in the zone. So it's like no matter where I go, even if I go out to like a bar or, you know, I go out or something, like there's still music playing in the background. I go out for dinner, it's still playing. So the conversation's always there.
That's a line, bro.
Yeah.
That's a line. That's a line right there. All of a sudden, I'm back in the zone. You should use that in a rap, bro.
Hey, man, look, I'm going to keep this piece right
All
here.
of a sudden, I'm back in the zone. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, drone. You know what I'm saying? That sounded dope how you said that.
I feel it.
No, man, so it's not, what I'm hearing you say, bro, is that, like, even though you didn't have the greatest time in school, at least academically, which isn't a sign of intelligence, by the way, because our school system, for the most part, is pretty trash. For the most part. I'm not saying it's all trash, but there's a lot of missing pieces there.
Sure.
But you're articulating what experts call emotional intelligence.
Okay.
That's a type of intelligence, bro. And I think what gives you an advantage as a young millennial, you're a millennial, right?
You're a millennial.
You're what, 95, 96?
95,
95? Yes, you're still a millennial. What gives you an advantage as a millennial is that not only are you intellectually curious, but you're also humble, bro.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And I always argued, like, I've always argued this on my jams and on my channel, that all the geniuses that you've seen, like the dopest geniuses, are some of the most humble people alive.
Sure.
Because with the truth that they've accepted, that arrogant, narcissistic people have not, is that they don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's funny you mentioned that though, because coming from a place, because I was kind of like that in the past. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's just like you gotta find that switch.
Right.
You know, and then know when you're wrong. The moment you know when you're wrong, that's when you start understanding yourself and saying, hey, you know what? Like,
you're saying you were like hard-headed, like.
Yeah, like look, like I'm still stubborn, but I mean, but like at the same time, it's just a while back. Like, yeah, like I wanted things my way, you know. And it's like, for example, when it came out to a relationship, the same way. When it came out to friends, like I was seen as a leader, but it's not like I didn't. Like, how can I say? I felt like a leader, but it's like I really wasn't. But in someone's eyes, no, I was. But then, like as times passed, like, I've always had like that humbleness. But it's like I feel depending on who you're with and who you're hanging out with and how you're learning from every individual, you start like you start like I guess acting that way. You know. So the moment you start stepping away from that, and so I guess start understanding stuff a little more, then yeah, that's when you start. Like, switching your life, and I switched my life completely, to be real with you. I mean, it's like I've came a long way, because I was in the streets for a while, but I was also living a double life with Christianity as a cover-up, you know, to make me feel good about myself and have others think I was a good person when I was really out being a bad person.
It was to ease the wound or something?
Yeah. I mean, it's perfectly said, honestly. Yeah, like I said, it was to ease the wound, but I always had that, like. I guess I've always had that in my heart, where it was, at some point, I have to make a decision for myself in order for me to grow as a person. And if I want to see growth, I have to start with myself. I got to plant the seed. And if I'm not planting anything and I'm just walking around my garden without planting any, any flowers, then obviously they're not going to bloom.
Yeah.
So that's how it started with that. And then like eventually, like it got to where I am now.
Right.
Like I've always been outgoing, but I've had that side. Right. You know, I've had that side, and that's a side that I don't want to go back to anymore.
Right,
I mean, back then, like, yes, it was all about vanity. Like, yo, cause I got the sickest kicks. I got the nice shirt, I got the nice this, I got the nice that, and so I realized that. I mean, there's just more value in your soul and your heart rather than the things you obtain. Like, as far as, for example, like a good example. So, it's just it's that video you actually dropped. That's another thing too. Like, you had the Supreme hat, for example. That to me hit me, bro. That to me, nah. Like, I think it hit me, like, dude, it sent me up to a point where I thought, like, it's not really, it's people who make brands too,
Right.
And it's like, we got to start off with ourselves too. So it's like, if we start with ourselves, we can make a difference around, like, our peers, and we can stand up and make, like, just I'll give you the same word, make a difference, because that's pretty much what it is, make a difference. And it's honestly, I mean, that video impacted me, and it reminded me why I'm, like, I am the way I am still, So it's cool, it's cool to see something like that, happen. And it's like no beef against Supreme or anything, I'm saying? No beef. But just the core message of that.
Right.
What stood out the most is like, yo, like, you don't need the brand needs you. So to a point where, the vanity gets out the way.
Right.
You start humbling yourself and understanding, what, like, we stand for each other, so let's keep it that way. And that's basically deep, where I'm going from,
That's deep. No, I really do admire that, bro. I think that's the reason, like, I know people think this is crazy, and some people are spiritual, some people are religious, some people are just like vibes, whatever you want to call it, man. Like, I knew that we were on the same vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we were for the people, for the community. Yeah. Really for like the lost boys type fools,
Honestly.
Like fools that just are misguided.
Yeah.
Right, but you have heart and you want to help, but you're just misguided. You don't have the resources. You don't necessarily have the mentorship.
Yeah.
You definitely don't have the blueprint. In fact, I would argue many of us, we're given the blueprint to, like, self-destruct. It's like, yo, here's a whole book on how to F up your whole life.
Right.
We got so many options. But seldom are we given alternatives to, like, self-actualize.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why I appreciate your music, because you're not on this, on the ignorant train. You're not on the World Star Hip Hop Island bull BS. You know what I'm saying? You're on some, like, positive stuff, but it's also not corny. Like, it's not like Disney Channel. Like, you're on some positive stuff, but it's real. and it feels real. And so I think that's the message that people resonate with. But I want to kind of go back to something you said earlier. You said that you felt like you were living this double life, like this dual consciousness, if you will. How did you enter the street life, and how did you sort of choose to like make a change? Like what sparked both, like the path downhill and then the path back uphill?
I feel the core root of just, for example, like so like my parents are Christian, you know, they're Pentecostal Christians, so with that, it's like,
that's intense, homie.
Yeah, so it's like those guys are, you know, just speaking tongues. They're the type of guys they're like honestly, they're hardcore when it comes to it. And there's a few things that I've learned from the religion that helped me out, you know, like I would say mentally, spiritually, like I was in a good place, but the way I was moving around wasn't the right way, you know what I mean?
Got you.
But it's like, I guess that's the core root that brought me back into what I was, because I had a foundation. So I would say that, for example, like, you know, like if I'm older and, you know, I have kids or family, I think I would want a foundation to start them up, you know, so they at least like understand how life should run. But it's your decision to make your own story.
Gotcha.
Because at least with them, it's like with certain religions, they allow hope and they allow nice a foundation to, you know, to just guide you, you know. So at that point, I had things behind my back saying, "Yo, this is wrong," but I would still go ahead and do it. And it was just like out of curiosity. I'm curious. I want to know why it's wrong. And some of the things that I thought were wrong, weren't wrong at all. For example, I was looking into other religions, you know, to see if I was misguided by my own creator.
That's blasphemy.
It's like, yeah, right. But at the same time, it's like how it's like it's how is it if God gave me that will, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like we can't use the Bible in a certain script the way we want to use it too, you know?
You can't manipulate the narrative.
No, of course. So I took pieces of the Bible and I started living my life the way I wanted to. But the thing is, I was living it the way I wanted to live it. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, when it came down to that, like, it all started from church, and then I was affiliated with, you know, some groups, and then from those groups we ended up. Obviously, it's all money factor. Like, we just we just wanted a bag.
Hustlers, you guys were hustling.
You know, on the bag. It's whenever it came down to certain things. For example, like someone, you know, called me over. It's weird to say though, but anytime someone would call me up and be like, "Yo, you know what? Like, we're gonna go kick and go smoke," I'll be like, "Nah, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go finish some homework or something." I was always ahead of that. Like, I always had something in my head saying, you know what, maybe I should step away from here. Because I was still out there doing things, but at the same time, like, when it mattered, I guess when it mattered to me, you know, I would step away from it. But I don't know how to put it down. I guess like I just had a voice in my ear always telling me something like, you know, you're better than this.
Right.
You know, and it's like, since I'm already there, you know, like, I can change someone, but I gotta start with myself.
Yeah.
That's how it happened, you know. Like, I started switching up a little bit. As you know, I was switching up to them, you know, because they didn't like that. I was like, we need to do this. For what?
Right.
So now I started being, you know, like, I guess defiant.
Right.
You know, start being defiant, and I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna go well the way like it's supposed to. But I always had that voice in my head that was always telling me, you know what, God, it's like no matter what happens, this is your story. God's gonna, you know, He's gonna carry you, and He's gonna. So, like, I've always had that core belief, and I believe in, you know, in a higher power.
I'm not sure if you've ever read Stephen Covey's work, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an excellent book. I strongly recommend it. It's one of my favorite books. In it, he's a Christian guy. He's a Christian, like, intellectual. But the cool thing about his work is that he's not dogmatic. You know what I mean by that? He's not dogmatic in his preaching. So dogmatism essentially means a hyper-religious person who believes that, like, their religion needs to be followed in their specific way. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but evangelical Pentecostals are one example of dogmatic people, right? And how do I know this? Because my parents were in an evangelical church at one point as well. So I saw, not to say that experience highlights all evangelicals,
for sure.
But I saw a lot of the religious extremism, if you will. So Stephen R. Covey argues that you can be active in the church, but inactive in its gospel. And it sounds like kind of like that's sort of what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
But I want to follow it up because, you know, I got to take it another level.
Yes, homie. Man, take it.
Can you be active in the gospel and be inactive in the church?
Can I be God? Okay, can we read that one more time?
Yeah, let me put it differently. In other words, can you still be doing God's work without going to a church and saying you're doing God's work?
I believe.
And what is God's work?
I believe so. I believe you can. Like, honestly.
Yeah, we just got deep.
No, honestly, no. Yeah, no, true.
Deep waters. but this is from the heart, y'all. We're not talking from ego. We're talking from genuinely curious people trying to spread love.
No, honestly, it's just, I feel you can, man, it's very, it's crazy, man. It's a deep topic, honestly. But I can say, yes, you can do God's work outside of the church. Like, I do understand that there's scriptures that say, like, you have to be, like I say, congregated, you know? So that's the excuse that they use when it comes to being congregated. Like you have to be in a church, you know? But when I hear congregation, I hear, like a gathering. I hear, you know, people come together. This right here is like our congregation. This is our temple right now, you know? This is our zone. So if we're being able to, you know, to talk about these things, we're actually doing God's work right now by speaking what we want to speak of. You know, like, I feel wisdom is God's work. That's as simple as that. You know, like, because we're messengers, you know, like, whether you want to put it differently, yes, we're messengers. Like, yes, we have a message, we have things to say, and it's like our voices and our, like, our posture, everything that we do, like, reflects who we are as people. And then it's like, it's crazy. I keep repeating this though, but it's like, I guess we're essentially the ones making the difference, and it just starts with that. So, like, for me to be in a church, honestly, I've done a lot better outside the church, and that's just me. I've done better outside the church. I'll be real with you.
Because, and can I speak on that, bro?
Go ahead,
because
bro.
I was in a similar boat. The thing about human beings and the thing about God that I firmly believe is that you said it earlier. God gives you free will.
Yeah.
And that free will, you can self-destruct or you can create something beautiful.
Correct.
God gives you free will. Correct. God bless all the pastors who have created beautiful churches.
Exactly.
But God has also taken a lot of pastors out of positions who are abusing their power. For me, my problem with the extremist churches that I attended at times wasn't the community. The community was beautiful. There was a lot of humble people. There was a lot of hermanos and hermanas who were beautiful people, man, always trying to help. But there was always those manipulative people. Those people 100%. Trying to take advantage. Those people just trying to tell you how to live. Those people telling you to shut the F up if you even question the Bible. When you're just a kid, intellectually curious.
Of course.
God wants you to ask questions.
Of course.
God wants you to develop your wisdom. That's God's work. Like, I was literally told, because that's the way it is and you don't question the Bible.
Correct.
And I was just like, bro, that sounds a lot like an abuser, bro.
Yeah, it does.
Like, that's what an abusive father would tell his kids, or an abusive husband will tell his lady.
Manipulation,
right? It's manipulation. It's like, that's how it is.
Yeah,
that's how it needs to be.
And
for me, it's like you don't get to use this part of the scripture and then forget this part of the scripture. You don't get to use the scripture cuando te conviene.
Correct.
Right. That's kind of how I see it.
Nah, it's true.
And when I when I see manipulation, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna manipulate me. Like, my peoples have been oppressed for way too long. I'm sorry, for way too long. Like I'm not gonna be manipulated.
Nah, for sure.
And I say this with a lot of love for church-going people, because it's some of the most beautiful people I've ever met. I believe it's an important community. I believe the church is one of the few places where men cry, especially like
for sure.
Very therapeutic, very cathartic, but it's not for everybody. And some of y'all are pushing kids like us away, man, by being so stringent and so whack.
It's funny how you brought up the whole like asking questions, because that's basically my turning point. And like in the church when I left, because it came down, okay, like before, like once I decided to stop living this double life, I said, like, I'm not gonna start dressing like this anymore. I don't gotta look the part anymore. I want to be myself,
right?
You know, and then I started showing up. I showed up to church, and then I started questioning certain things. I was curious. I'm like, why do I always say yes when I could ask you? So like, where does it say that in the Bible? What like, who said this? Who said that? So I heard in this scripture that he says that. So like, is what you're saying? Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, so what you're saying is that the Bible is wrong itself, or what? Because I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Right.
Like, wait, no, but so you gotta understand how. Okay, cool. So we had discussions left and right. I would even stay after class. I mean, like if any of the people who went to to my church and eventually see this video, then yeah, I mean, dude, anyone can tell you I was the last one in class with the teacher. And I would talk to that guy. I'm like, yo, like, so I love the lesson. I love what you spoke, but there's just something in there that just didn't catch my attention, and I need to know. And after a while, I was like, okay, cool. You know what? Like, I don't have the answers, but I'm gonna go look for them. So I appreciate him for for going and trying to search. Eventually, it came up to a point where irritation started coming in, and he started getting annoyed with like me questioning it.
Right.
So I was like, yo, I'm just really curious. I want to know exactly why you believe that. And it's just a bunch of things that just didn't make sense anymore, and I just wasn't with it anymore. And like, it opened up a door. So that's why, like, as I said earlier, like I started looking at other religions too, just to understand, like
which ones?
Yeah. Okay. For example, I had a chance because, like, I have family too. They're Jehovah's Witnesses. I was curious about them, but I didn't even get the chance because you can't even, you can't even go inside their church unless you're actually part of them. So if I want to join you, like, I have to go inside the church. So I can't. So if I'm not part of the Jehovah's Witness, then like I can't show up. Like, I have to stay outside the door.
It's a very
so I was like, okay. I stopped by. I went to a Catholic church as well. I wasn't too big on Catholicism, but I do admire one thing, and that's just the amount of respect, that they have, for the church, and like, I love that. Like, I love the respect that they have in the church, because, for example, like in other churches, you got people running around in circles, they're talking left and right. When I went to, I think they call it misa, right? I think they call it misa, something like that. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I stepped in one day. Everybody was quiet. Everybody stood up. At the attendants stood up. They sat back down. That. Like, I like the respect factor. Like, there was no kids running around during that time when I went. Like, I was able to understand. I mean, it was similar messages. I can't lie about it. But still, at the same time, it just wasn't for me. Also, started raining or something. I felt some water. Uh-oh. Man, it's some rain over here, man.
God's listening.
God's listening. Make it rain.
Lord, we need to make it. Help us out,
man. Also, with Buddhism as well, like, a lot of peace in that religion. It's a lot of peace in that, and it's honestly, it's not really a religion. It's more like a philosophy type, right? Like, it's not really like a religion, But it's
probably one of the most accepting, most, in my opinion, most genuinely loving religion.
Yeah, for sure.
Their level, what they preach is like not just turn the other cheek, but just let them be, forgive them, love them.
For sure. Nah, definitely.
Well, Christianity kind of teaches that, right? Love your enemy.
It's very, it's very similar, but I mean, obviously, there's differences in each of them, but
it's like the how. That to me, that's where I notice like where religions start sort of breaking apart, like the how you're supposed to do it. They want to indoctrinate you, right? Like the Catholic religion, you have to do your first communion, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And so, like, one thing that I'm noticing is, like, because this is not to disparage religions. Like, I think religious institutions have been very important in our development as a society. The Catholic Church in particular was they were the first universities.
That's correct.
The first institutions of higher learning.
That's correct.
In fact, it was through my religious upbringing that I learned to read multisyllabic words, like Deuteronomy and Leviticus, and Revelations, this very complex vocabulary in the scriptures. So for me, what I took from the church was like community is good, a spiritual connection to a higher power is good, in my opinion.
Correct.
And you have free will, like live your life the way you want to live. Like that's kind of where I left it at, and I view the Bible both as a sacred book, but also as a book of wisdom.
For sure.
With important parables.
For sure.
Important historical moments, and I don't treat it as a dogmatic like blueprint on how to live my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the Bible, it's a book that's written. Well, it's inspired by the Holy Spirit, if you believe in the Holy Spirit, but it's inspired, by people who actually had the gospel. So they put it down. Inspired by God, to put it down, but. It's just, I feel like once it gets put onto the wrong hands, there's certain scriptures that you use in your own way to manipulate, other individuals. And honestly, like, I mean, in the past, there's been cause of war as well. Religion has been like, there's something that's, that's caused war. I mean, people, fight in the name of God. and it's not really what you should be
Crazy.
doing. But it's like
That's
you're
not-
using that. Like to me, like I feel like that's blasphemy. But you're not saying that like outside the doors, because it's for your convenience. And to me, it's like, it's just that's the way I see it. Just personally, I feel like it's for their convenience. I'm not trying to bash anyone, like I said, like but it's just for example, like I still have core beliefs. I don't associate myself with saying I'm Christian because I'm not, because I don't follow a Christian like lifestyle, because the way I live is different. Honestly, it's all different life. But I do like well, look, I said it's different times. It's more of an idea of like you take what you want, and then whatever you don't, just throw it out there.
Yeah. Take what you need, leave what you don't.
That's it.
I like that.
Simple as that.
I like that a lot. We understand religion is a touchy topic, guys, but we needed to address it because I know there's a lot of misguided youth out there, and just people in general who are getting manipulated by a slick talking pastor who has a degree in theology or philosophy or maybe psychology, and they know how to articulate themselves in a way that you don't. They're charismatic, they're well spoken, and they drive a Benz, so suddenly you feel like you feel compelled to listen to this individual who is not always, but often just manipulating a book and building his own little team around it. Anyways, I got you right here. I got a question for you, bro. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received? Sheesh. I could probably break that down into two. Let me see. There's a few, man, but I'm trying to break it down to two. I know one is just hard to just break it down. Best piece of advice. Best piece of advice I've ever received. I'd probably start off with one right now with saying save money. That's probably like one of the biggest ones to save money. But someone who was a spender, we talked about vanity. We talked about a few things earlier.
Right.
That was one of them. Like, it's just I was making like a good amount, because I joined this one company and I was making money, and I just didn't know how to act. I just didn't know how to act, and I just didn't know in investments. I didn't know in the stock market. I didn't know that like I can do something for myself. I didn't know or save for the future, for retirement or something. But I was just like, I need this new fit. And it's funny because if I go back to those fits, they don't even fit me anymore. So it's like, man, and it's like, honestly, like it doesn't age well. So that's why I feel when it comes to that, like save money was one that my dad would tell me all the time. All the time, man. And he would like up to date. It's still something. It's just like I'm not spending like that anymore. Right. But I mean, a father's a father, and he comes up to me. He's like, like I'll buy a T-shirt. Like, dude, that ass, like a T-shirt, and he'll be like, save your money. I'm like, dude, I haven't spoiled myself in almost 9 months, I'm rocking the same shirts. Like they're faded black, and this one cost me $5. That way you tripping, but it's like, hey, you save your money. It's just something that just implanted. And another one was just as cliche as it might be. I've come across different people, but it's always been like be genuine with yourself and just be yourself. That's just something I never really understood what that meant. I'm like, I am myself, homie. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? Like, this is me. But no, once you start actually, getting to know yourself a lot better and understanding where you're coming from, like, that doesn't mean you got to be like everybody else. Right. You start figuring out what you like, your dislikes, and then that's pretty much where it comes from. Just be yourself. It sounds cliche, but it's just honestly like you have to have that, like, it's just a genuine feeling of saying like, just the whole love you. Just I don't know how to put it, but it's just as simple as that. Yeah. I hope you get what I'm saying.
No, I do. Well, first and foremost, your dad is right. Save your money.
Yeah.
But the second thing, bro, is be yourself. It's I forget who said it. I read it somewhere that one of your greatest assets is authenticity, because authenticity is the only characteristic that is unique to you. Yeah. Like no one can replicate you the way you know you. So yeah, you can be doing rap, but you're doing rap the way you do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can be spitting jams, but you're doing it the way you do it. Right. And people are naturally attracted to honest, genuine individuals. Right. So for me, man, that's a jam. Like be your most authentic self. because, and especially if you're an artist, right? Because if you start to develop this persona, like I remember when I first started scholargamernerd, I'm not even gonna front, like I wasn't being authentic. And this is probably the first time I'm saying it, whatever, surprise. I was going like, what's up, guys? I'm Scholar Gamer Nerd. Yeah. And I was being very like, almost like Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Like I was being kind of like trying to appeal to like the wrong audience.
Right.
Because I thought that people wouldn't accept me if I was like, hey, yo, what up, guys? I'm SGN. You know, hey, yo, what up?
Like,
hello and welcome. You know,
got
speak, you know, like certain people, you know? I guess I was insecure.
Yeah,
you know, I was insecure, and you know how I know this is true, and how I know that God's speaking through me right now. The sun is shining dead on me right now. Have you noticed that?
There you go.
The sun is shining dead on me because I'm being real. I was fronting, and it didn't feel right. And then I was like, you know what? F it, bro. I'm just gonna be myself. Like, hey, yo, what up, guys? Scholar Gamer Nerd. I like rap. I like hip hop. I'm also a metalhead. I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
And people started gravitating to it. People
were
like, oh damn, like this was different, a little weird, but cool, honest, you know, and that's the best advice that you can give someone, bro.
Yeah.
Be your most authentic self.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, and they buy your shirt, they bought it because of you.
Yeah.
They bought your album. People who are gonna buy your album, people buy the person, bro, not the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not the physical thing.
Definitely, you know, I believe that there's this band I'm actually by the name of Let Live, or actually Fever 333 too now. It's this guy, his name is Jason Allen Butler. And yeah, it's just watching him. I spoke about this as well, but it's just like when you're talking about that, yes, I followed that man because of the way he spoke and you know how he caught my attention with like his music and everything, and it's just like I feel like, you know, you're right. I bought into like what he stood for, and it just kept me going, you know what I mean? Right. So I wanted to keep that going. Like, you know, I gotta follow these guys. I like the message you guys have. You guys are punkers or hardcore, man. Like, I love the style. You guys are really, you know, you guys are different. Right. You know? But the fact that, you know, the front man was actually like, he was one of those guys that made you feel like you were a person. I'm not sure how he is in, you know, real life. I'm speaking out from my experience, you know, but I had a real good experience with with him, and I got to, you know, just meet him at a different level when they released this album. It's called If I'm the Devil. They had like a
that sounds intense.
yeah, If I'm the Devil, yeah. So like they dropped that album. It was touching specific topics like, you know, police brutality.
Okay.
There's just a lot of it, you know, and just basically like, you know, just finding yourself, you know, and just because we all have like, it's like a second doubt basically, you know. Just saying, if I'm the devil, it's just simply saying that, you know. Yeah. But that's by your sins, you know, things you commit and whatever the case may be. But it's just, yeah, like what caught me is just like, not just, well, yes, like I would say the music and all, but it's just him as a person. Just had me following, because now he's got a new band, and I still follow the band for that same reason. Fever 333, like I follow them as well for the same reasons, because that man. There's just something about him that just caught my attention. Like he was speaking for people who just couldn't speak. For example, like during that time, I didn't even know how to express myself fully. And that's one of the, like I said, one of the guys that caught me. You know, so I would like if I want to talk about like just buying albums, it's probably an album that I bought. I bought other albums. Like I got a bunch of t-shirts. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. Yes. I got my Let Live shirt on too. Yeah, so. It's just something like that. Just the main thing is just.
Is it Let Live?
Yeah, it's Let Live. Yeah, I mean they're no longer a band because they pursued something else.
Okay.
So now he carried on with Fever 333.
Okay.
Yeah, Let Live is basically where a lot of like if you hear my vocals, like you'll see a lot of influence from that band.
Got you.
Yeah, you hear a lot of influence from that band. And also, I mean Fever, like I said, just it's the same way. It's just that guy. Like he just. I didn't buy into just the music, but it's just that person. You know what I'm saying? So like how you said that, it's just like they're gonna buy, you know, music because of me. Yeah. You know, because they like me. You know, like
buy a button. You know, buy
whatever it is. You know, to support you.
It's to support you.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. It's a good example, though, man.
Yeah, people over profit, man. That's why, like, even though it's kind of a brand that's considered like to be dead now, it's no longer cool. The hundreds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love.
That's the one with the little bomb, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I love and respect one of their owners, Bobby Hundreds.
Yeah,
that was one of the most conscious people alive.
You've been talking about him lately, actually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I just dropped one of his gems today. He said, if you play by the rules, they'll never let you win. Now, because he was talking about the OGs, like, and he was talking about the OGs of streetwear, obviously. He said the OGs of streetwear, your mere presence is attached to their pockets. Your mere presence is attached to the attention that they could be getting. So naturally, they're not going to like you.
Yeah.
You know, the same way that the old heads in hip hop and rap hate on the young heads, right?
100%.
They hate on the young heads, which is why. And this is what I wrote a whole situation because I don't know if you're aware, but I was pursuing a doctoral program. I was going to get a PhD in New York University. I lived there for a year, and it was a cool experience. Shout out to all my Cal State Northridge people who helped me to get there, all my CSUN heads, you know. But when I got there, it was cool, but it was a different energy. It was a different bravado, and the professors were not into like my project. My project, like that would have been my album, kind of.
Gotcha.
My album,
yeah,
basically.
Sure, yeah.
What I was pushing was a deconstruction of street skateboarding culture as a way to leave the street life. That's kind of what I was arguing.
Gotcha.
That in the mid to late 2000s, there was this rise in skateboarding, which also pushed streetwear forward and has always been hip hop and punk all at once. That I was basically saying like saving kids' lives, like especially here in Pacoima, a lot of kids in South Central, they were like, "Yo, my cousin was gangbanging, he got shot, but here's the homie over here who picked up a skateboard and he's doing all right." And you know, but from the outside looking in, you see skaters, you're like, oh, taggers, stoners, knuckleheads, right, vandals. But if you meet real skaters, bro, the dopest people alive, the nicest people, the most kind community, right, the most conscious community. So I wanted to write about all that. I wanted to put that in a book and tell the story and go from the Paxton Park in Pacoima, look at parks in South Central, and just do this whole ethnography. They wouldn't approve it, bro.
Damn.
They wouldn't approve it. They were like, I literally was told, like, I see your passion, but no one will ever take you seriously as a skateboarding guy.
That's crazy.
You know? They would say stuff like, you know, that's just a subculture. You know? And if you're watching now, it's not just a subculture, homie. It's not just a subculture. Right. Skateboarding propelled streetwear. Skateboarding went mainstream. Your kids probably want to skate. You know, your kids probably follow the barracks. It's so ironic, bro. It's so. Anyways, I got a little upset there because I look back now and I said, and you know, they told me that it wasn't research. They said skateboarding isn't research, and then I was like, why not though? Like these are people. This is culture. This is sociology. There's so much in there, you know?
Exactly.
And then they were like, yeah, but it's not compelling enough.
Wow.
And then I was like, no, it's not compelling enough to you.
Yeah.
To you. So then I wrote this today, bro, in my most recent post. If you get a chance to read it, check it out. I said, they were right. They were right. Skateboarding is not research. It's content, homie.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. There you
content.
Go. Let them know.
Hey, no disrespect. No disrespect, but like, y'all got it wrong, man. Y'all got it wrong.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bobby Hundreds for inspiring that. Let me see. We're almost getting to, okay. So, I feel like we kind of already addressed that. You just dropped a powerful single, Broken Pieces.
Yes.
What inspired the song, bro?
Broken Pieces. Honestly, like, it wasn't even going to drop, to be real with you. That's just a song that just came out of the moment. Like, originally I had a song, which was called Sweet Fine Dime, and that one was like, it was like a mainstream song. You hear it, you're like, oh, this is something I hear on the radio. It was just it was a song for my girl, basically. It was just, but it still had like a party theme, so like, you know, so when they want to turn up, they could turn up to it. But you know, but like it was kind of more of how we met or whatever. But the thing is, like when I was recording the song, like no offense to anything going on, but it's just I just wasn't feeling it. For one, I didn't know if I was gonna, you know, okay, because during that time, like the pandemic was barely starting, and I wasn't sure if I had a job or like I was gonna keep working. Like, I wasn't sure about all this. I was hearing people around like, you know, talk about, yo, I'll put it down. Like, I don't have enough money. I don't don't have a job. Just just a bunch of stuff. Basically, when it came down, just a struggle. Just in short, I'm gonna break it down like that. It was just a struggle.
Yeah.
I kept hearing a lot of things, and then, like I remember that same night when I was in the studio recording. We I think with Dominic actually Lamb 5 from True Coast, we ended up getting a phone call from our boss. She says that like our job is now in lockdown. So now I think it was 3 of us that were gonna show up just to work, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm fortunate to be going to work, but I'm hearing about my other friends saying, hey, they might have to go under like unemployment. I had a few friends, who had kids actually, who were struggling, and just all these stories. I was so stressed out, man. I can't even lie. So like one day, just I guess a few days later, instead of dropping that song, it was probably a week prior to release date. Actually, a week prior to release date, 'cause I was dropped that song, and I just switched it up, and I'm like, man, I just feel broken. It's just like I just feel broken, and it's just something that kind of hit. And I was in my girl's room or whatever. I was sitting with my girl, and then she was doing something. I forgot what she was doing. I was on the floor, I was by the bed, on the floor just writing some stuff, and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, stuff's crazy. So I hit up our producer, Kevin Don. I was like, yo, you know what? I got a song by Janae, featuring Nas. It's 10K hours. And I was inspired by that song, and I just loved the beat, and the message was nice. It was nice and sincere, but I wanted to hit a different audience when it came down to COVID. So I was like, you know what, this is impacting a lot of people's lives, So at that moment, I explained to him how I felt, and he said hey, don't worry, bro, I got you. Just give me some time. My Wi-Fi sucks, so it's gonna take a while to download. I was like, don't worry, just try to pick up, just try to have something that inspired it, So he was inspired by that song 10K Hours by Janae and Nas. So that's how the song was structured through that. And I remember, yeah. So after that, I would say maybe within 4 hours, 5 hours, I was still up, still waiting. It was late night already. I got the beat, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, okay, this is the one. Just it was just meant to be. Basically, it just felt right. Just a sample we put in there. It was perfect because it was broken pieces, and as I said, I kind of felt that way too. I felt broken inside. I just felt lost. I felt sad.
All right, bro. So I got another question for you.
Talk to me, man.
When it's all said and done, how does Elvin want to be remembered?
Man, that's a big one right there.
I had to ask you.
Hit me one more time with that question.
This question's only for real ones, bro.
Yeah.
I only ask the real ones this.
Yeah, I gotta embrace that one. You know what I mean?
When it's all said and done, if today was the last day on this planet,
for sure.
How does Elvin want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone who, who cared. Who cared for the craft, who cared for just in general. I mean, who cared for you, who cared for them. Who cared just for just for the music, for the scene, for everything, and just cared enough to at least share a part of his life, and make you feel the same way I felt, and for me to feel the same way you felt. I just want to be remembered as that person who implanted a seed in someone just so they could grow as well, blossom like a rose. That's kind of where it is.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, but it's just a blossom. It's just growth is something that is just I love seeing amongst people. Me and my girl talk about that all the time. Growth. I've seen it in past relationships, but as of now, I do feel I do want to remember for these few things. And just love is one thing as well. It's just to love one another. Also as bad as it might sound, but sometimes love your enemy. Because. At the end of the day, sometimes those enemies might come back and actually might have your back. And I've been in situations where I've had people who hated me, and last minute they come back and those are the ones that are saving my life, and it's kind of
That's actually one of the laws of power, bro.
It's a touchy topic, bro.
People, have you ever read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene? He basically says that the people who have hurt you in the past, but want to make it up to you, can become your strongest allies.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they have this almost like this guilt that they want to get rid of.
Of course.
And they come through for you. It's and it's a real thing.
Of course. Of course.
You obviously have to be careful.
Definitely. I'm not saying go do it, but it's at the same time saying like at some point just, regardless of who it is, love, love your haters, you know what I'm saying? Like, your haters are the ones making you famous here, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
they're still giving you the view, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, like, dude, like, you're still here? I'm like, dude, like, you're still talking crap, but you're coming back. So it's like, you know what? Like, I appreciate you for being here, man.
Thanks for your time,
like, thanks, man. Like, oh, you're that, man? Thanks, man. Like, sheesh.
Appreciate the screen time, bro.
All in all, though, like, I just want to remember someone who just, just like I said, who cared. Who, like, yeah, in general, who cared about something and cared about, like, everything around him. Yeah. Whether, just be that person, like, I just want to remember that, like, at some point, that, like, the greatest husband, she's ever had, or, the greatest son that my parents ever had, I want to remember it as something that, or, like, honestly, I don't, like, it's not hitting me to be, top 10 rappers, or, just top 10 artists of all time, but I do want to be one of the biggest influential ones that you can look back and say, wow, he changed society, like, he changed the way people think, like, he completely changed the game. He accepted both sides and saw perspective to be, a big thing. Right. So obviously, it's just, I just want to be remembered for that, just, just for, for caring as much. Yeah. I mean, I want, other individuals to continue that path and be able to, care for one another.
That's real.
It's all love, man.
That's real, man.
It's all love.
That's beautiful. You will. You're doing that, bro.
You're doing
that, man. That's real.
That, man.
All right, bro. One final question before we close out the interview. And so in a recent interview with my good friend J Flo of Derby Fawcett Media,
J Flo,
you spoke on the importance of mental health. What are some of the ways that you manage your mental health? And maybe if we could leave the youngsters out there with some practical gems regarding that topic.
Mental health, I'd say talk. I'd say someone who has had those problems in the past, I'd say there's just a bunch of voices in your head telling you, like, you're this, you're that. It's always negative, like thoughts. I feel the moment that you just kind of get out that zone and you just start, I guess you got to say some things. You got to be able to speak up and say, hey, like, or like I said before, just look in the mirror, and you just start off with that. Just start off with yourself and try to acknowledge that you are better than what you think you are, and put yourself in that zone where you just look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, yo, I'm a great person.
Practice self-love.
Yeah, like, it starts with that. And it's like, if let's say you have a bunch of problems all around you, whatever the case may be, just don't have everything be like an overwhelming situation. Just start off with one thing. So start with that, you know what I mean? So for example, let's say like I have a problem in school or something, or at work. I'm stressing out everywhere. Well, I'm start off with the one that's, that can be get rid of first. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just healing myself, as it goes. I'm gonna go, for example, in school, I'll take care of my situation in school. But I'll have to deal and struggle it out. But honestly, like, it's good that you're struggling, because honestly, like, it shows how much your life matters. And I want people to understand that. Like, if you're going through something, like, your life does matter, because there's obstacles coming. Right. It's the coming left and right to build you as a person.
Right.
So instead of being mad, or or I guess feeling alone about something, do speak up and trust me. Like you'll have that. Like, you'll have that support. Might not be your parents, like your partner or whoever it might be, but there's someone out there, who cares. I'm telling you now, like, I don't know who these people are,
right?
But I love you guys enough to be here and and I guess take your time to watch this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it just shows that you care.
Yeah.
So
definitely, thank you if you're part of the SGN community, but you're also showing and spreading that love to Elvin Roses as an artist, as a musician. Thank you.
Yeah. So all in all, it's special, like, for you to express yourself and be able to just get out of your zone. So what I've done in the past has been that I've been able to speak these things into existence. I'll just talk to myself and say, yo,
manifest.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm better than this.
Yeah.
I'm great. I feel like, even though I feel like small, I feel so small. But it's like the more I preach it, the more I speak it, the more I like embrace myself, the more I become big. You know, like I feel a lot stronger, even though like, I might be something small to someone else. But you know, that's where the whole mental thing comes into play. And it's like you're not small. You know, like we're all big people. You know, we all stand together, and it's like we all have struggles. Someone's gonna have like a bigger house than you. And someone's gonna have a better car than you. There's always someone's gonna always outdo you. So just forget about those things and just just focus on yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna make you, it's gonna build you basically. So how I bring it down to mental health is just talk to a friend, just talk to someone you can. Like I did that. Like also meditation was one thing. Just step away, and I say practice your breathing. You know what I mean? Practice your breathing. As someone like myself, like I suck at breathing. I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy. I'm a fast thinker. Sometimes I tend to stutter a bit more than I'm supposed to. But it's just, I got so many things running in my head, you know what I'm saying? But it's just part of my mental as well. It's just I'm just shooting back, and it's just so many things coming out at once. But like I can tell you this, like that doesn't stop me from speaking up from what I want to say or like the things I believe in. Like a stutter's not gonna stop me, or my insecurity's not gonna stop me because I've already mastered that idea that I can be better. You know what I mean? Like this thing, like just straight up.
Popping off.
It's just man. I gotta leave you with these gems too. Come on, this SGN. It's that 30-30 life, homie.
Thank you. You're blessing me right now. I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
Damn, dude, that's deep.
So basically that is just like talk, just talk. Talk and be able to express that, and it'll help out. And basically simple as that, man. It's just you just gotta talk. You have to speak up for yourself and just understand that you are, like you're better than what you think you are. And if you want to hear this message, like as smart as just break it down as easy as I can. Like I love you guys. Not sure how often you hear it. But just know that I do care. I'm pretty sure he cares as well because you guys are on his channel watching this, and for him to be able to bring this up, I'm gonna bring down the broken pieces. You know what I'm saying? And put them all together. I had to throw that curveball right there. I had to throw that one in there. Gathering the pieces and making us whole, and that's basically what it's about. It's all love. In the end. So it's all love. So if you ever need something, don't hesitate to hit me up as an artist. My name is Elvin Roses. This SGN. Hit us up. I know, like as far as just us being creatives, like we also are people. So that's what we do, and like we're here to spread a message regardless of what the case is. So
I appreciate that message, bro. I've always said this. I said it in a previous feature with J-Flow. I said that I do it for the underdogs. I don't do it for people who. I don't do it for know-it-alls. I don't do it for people who have it together. I do it for us, people like you and me, for the underdogs. For kids who got made fun of, for kids who got doubted, for kids who were misguided, for kids who still to this day feel like no one's listening to them. Like we're doing this for y'all. So for me, like I know you're one of those artists that I want to see succeed so bad.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Because of how genuine you are with your audience, with your supporters, with your friends. So. With that being said, man, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube. Just search up Elvin Roses. As simple as that. You can find me, or you can search up Broken Pieces because apparently, like we broke the algorithm that day, and it's like my video pops up. It's probably like the third one, so you can probably see it. That was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. That felt pretty good. I was like, oh man, you have to search me up. So you search up my name too. I'll come up. I have that song at the moment. I have another track that I'm. Well, I mean, if you're gonna hear it here, depending, when they get it. But having the track dropping, I'd say next Friday.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it mixed and mastered.
Okay.
But if it's soon enough, I mean, you watch it here first. It's Friday. The Friday I'll have it out.
Okay.
It's gonna be next Friday.
You're also on Instagram, right?
Yes, I'm also on Instagram as well as Elvin Roses. Simple. Just write my name. And you'll be able to find me. I'm also on Spotify, Apple, all streams actually. You can find me on Deezer. You can find me out in, like anywhere else in Africa. Like I'm there. Like I'm on everything, to be honest. You can Shazam my music. Like you can do all that stuff. Like I'm all around. So I mean, just the name itself, Elvin Roses. You'll find Elvin Roses. Just search up Elvin Roses and you'll find me. As simple as that.
Dope.
Definitely.
You heard it first, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, SGN family. I really hope that you guys can support my boy Elvin Roses on YouTube, Instagram, and however else you can. he's a part of my family, so by extension, he's a part of your family since we're the SGN family, the Elvin Roses Connect. And as you guys know, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to be a scholar first, gamer second, nerd always. It's been real, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate
you, man.
Brother,
Thank you, man.